What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I am Chad, the Reseller Rockefeller. Today is Saturday. Hello to all of my fellow resellers out there. I'm hoping that everybody got out there today and was able to go out and find some good stuff. I went out to yard sales. I didn't really go out for that long. It was kind of, the weather was not really on my side today, but I did find a couple of really good items, nothing real special, but I did make some money, and that's what matters. I was gonna try to film, but it looked like it was gonna rain, so I'll probably be filming next Saturday, and hopefully by next Saturday, I'll have my GoPro, and I'll be able to actually film, you know, when I go sourcing, and I'm actually at the yard sale. So right now, I am standing inside my warehouse. I don't think I've done a video yet out here at the warehouse. So what I'm gonna do is show you the warehouse, and then I'm gonna show you some of the items that I picked up today, and kind of just give you an idea of my operation. It's pretty similar to my old, my old warehouse, but it's not exactly set up the same, but it's pretty darn similar. I mean, as you can see behind me, this is my big table right here. This is where I make all my t-shirts, and these behind me are all my t-shirt transfers, and that's how I make all the t-shirts that I sell. It's how I made the t-shirt that I'm wearing. And yeah, this is the little operation of, t-shirt operation station. But I also use this table to pack and ship orders. I just like it because it's really sturdy, it's really big. I think it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like 8, maybe 10 feet long by like 4 feet wide. So it's a really big table. It's got a metal base, and it's perfect for packing and shipping orders. These are all of the transfers behind me. I've showed those in previous videos, so it's nothing special. Back here, this is where all of the clothing gets packed away in all of these different bins. I have some more bins over here. So quite a bit of clothing, not as much as I used to have. I think last year I had like 1,500 items of clothing. Now I only have like close to about 1,000 items of clothing. So it's really not that much clothing. I haven't really been dealing in clothing that much, but I still have quite a bit of clothing that I need to get listed. I got this whole clothing rack over here. This needs to be listed, and there is actually some good stuff in this clothing rack. All of these pants up here are FootJoy. I have some vintage jackets. I got some jerseys. I got some vintage old new stock. I mean, I got some really good stuff in there, so I need to get to listing all of that. And I also have these 2 clothing racks here. So right now I have these blankets on them, but both of these racks are completely full of unlisted clothing. So basically I just push them in that walkway, because this is all items that have not been listed yet. Everything you see on the shelves on the left side hasn't been listed, and everything you see from the middle shelf over is items that have been listed. So that kind of gives you an idea of the operation. Well, not really the operation, but my storage area. So all of these items are listed. Everything on this side is unlisted, and it's pretty much just storage. Lots of stuff back here. Now back here is not only unlisted items, but also items that are, my personal items, things that I collect, things that I've had for the past, umpteenth year, and it's pretty much just random storage. This right here is my old photo booth. This is where I used to hang clothing and photograph items. I still do every now and then, but I built my new photo booth inside of the house, so I don't really photograph clothing or items out here no more, because it's just way too hot. As you can tell, this building is not insulated, so it gets really, really hot during the daytime. So anyways, let me show you some of the items that I picked up. Let me start over here by the door. So this is the door heading out to my home, and as you can see, I have a table here. This is where items, when they come in, this is where they first go. They get placed on this table, or they will get placed on this table or one of these tables pretty much. That's kind of the pecking order for new inventory. So when an item comes in, they can be placed on the table. If they're an electronic item, then they get moved over here, and that is where it gets tested. I plug it up to the TV or I plug it up to those speakers, and I'll test the item to make sure it works. Always make sure to test your stuff. Do not sell stuff without testing it. And this is also where I clean items. So if I need to clean one of these stereos or a tape deck, you know, this is where I have all of my cleaning supplies over here. Then I have my air compressor, and then these are my toolboxes. Obviously, those are, you know, full of my personal tools. This over here is kind of my personal, you know, junk area. This is like where I keep all of my chainsaws and, you know, weed eaters and all that good stuff. Anyways, back to the items. These are the items that I picked up today. These are the items that I need to test other than this item. And then I also picked up a few items that I set right there. I need to test those items. So let me start with the first item. This is a brand new GE 5000 BTU air conditioner. It's nothing real special. I think retail on this item is like 200 bucks. I picked it up at a yard sale this morning and I paid 20 bucks. So I think I'm going to be able to sell it locally. It is a really heavy item, so I actually don't want to ship it, but if I have to sell it on eBay or Amazon, I definitely will. I have shipped way bigger items. But yeah, I picked it up. It was $20. I'm hoping I can get $150 locally. So there, I don't have to ship it. I also don't have to pay any fees. I'll make $130 profit. The next item that I picked up is this Sony Mega Storage 400 disc changer. Now, I've had a bunch of these over the past couple of months. I come across them all the time. It is a bigger item. They don't weigh that much. This is actually a really light item. For some reason, obviously because it doesn't have any kind of receiver or anything like that, no kind of amp or anything in it. It's actually extremely light. I ship them pretty cheap, and they always sell for me. So if you come across these, make sure that you at least are getting them cheap enough to where it doesn't matter if it works or not. I wouldn't pay like a bunch of money for them. They only sell. I'm not sure about this model. There's a few different models. I think this is like $100, maybe a little more, maybe $130, $140. But, you know, they always sell for me. The next item is this vintage Magnavox little television. Now, I've been doing really good selling small, older model TVs, but they have to be the small ones, and it kind of depends on the model, so make sure you look it up. The reason that I purchased this one is because of the condition. It's in like immaculate condition. As you can see, it has this weird, funky plastic over the screen, and usually these will always be cracked up, or they will have a bunch of scuffs or scrapes. And also check to make sure if the antenna is broken. A lot of them will have broken antennas. Anyways, this was a good buy. I only paid $2, and I think I looked it up, or I found one very similar, and it ended up selling for like 60 bucks. So let's call it $50. I only have $2 in it, so that was a really good buy. Next item I picked up was this Sony. Obviously, you can see that it's a DVD player, VCR combo. It is the one that records, and it has the remote and the manual. I paid $5 for it, and she let me test it before I bought it. So that works, and it's in actually really good condition. It still has the actual plastic on the screen. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but it still has the plastic on the screen. No scratches. Really nice condition. I'm hoping I should be able to get at least 130, maybe even 140 for it. I wish she had the original box, but all right, let's move on to the next item. This is an item that, I don't know, most resellers would probably pass this up. They wouldn't see any value in it. I know for a fact that I have, over the years, I have become knowledgeable enough to understand that when you find kind of weird, unique items like this, make sure that you buy them, especially when they're extremely cheap. I picked this up at a yard sale for $0.25. I asked the woman how much it was. She said $0.25. I was just blown away. Anyways, it's a canvas bag. It's made by LL Bean. It's really heavy duty. It has like a really heavy duty bottom. It's made out of canvas. It's like 22 inches by like 18 inches. I think it is probably one of the biggest like weird duffel bags or beach bags. I'm not really sure what they call it. I'm gonna try to look it up and see. Or they call it a boat and tote. There it is. So it says boat and tote. So it's like a boating bag to go and take your items out on a boat. Anyways, I paid $25. I think the bag is worth like 45 bucks. So that was a really good deal. It'll fold up real nice and I'll be able to ship it hopefully under like $6 or $7. I'm hoping I can fold it up and probably fit it in a flat rate padded envelope or something of that nature. Let's move on to the next items that I picked up. So these items right here, I picked up at one garage sale and they were all together. He said he didn't know if any of them worked. I was okay with that because I got it for so cheap. So I got all 4 of these for 10 bucks. I don't care to take a chance on $10. It doesn't really matter. I mean, there's nothing really special there, but you know, vintage stereo equipment, anything to do electronic wise usually will sell. Obviously, it's going to depend on the models. It's going to depend on if they work and all of that good stuff. But I don't mind testing them, and you know, I don't mind going through it. I have the place set up. For me to test an item, it's really fast. I plug it up, I hook my wires up, and it really does make things go a lot smoother. And you can really start to pound out some listings, especially if you have the right operation, in the right area set up for doing so. All right, now the next item that I picked up is this Bose and another DVD VCR combo, and then there's also another VCR down there. Now the other VCR that's down there is actually a higher end VCR, but it does have quite a bit of wear. It's made by Hitachi. I looked up the model and it seemed to be selling good, but this one has quite a bit of wear, so I'm not really sure how much it's going to bring. The Bose, I hopefully will be able to get at least $35 to $40 for it. For these, I picked this up at one yard sale along with this vintage RC airplane stuff. Now, I actually bought a box of stuff from them. There is quite a bit of stuff down here, and I just dumped it inside this crate. But yeah, there's some motors, there's some other stuff. Anytime you come across vintage RC plane stuff, especially motors and mufflers and things like that, if you can get it cheap enough, I definitely recommend buying it, because some of this stuff can sell really good. I've had tons of this stuff in the past. Florida is a big RC community. There is tons of people out here that build these planes. So I'm always buying this stuff, and honestly, it sells. These propellers, I'm able to list these all the time and sell them. These are brand new, just regular wooden propellers. They're always marked. Usually you can always get a model number. You can see the length of it. You can see who it's made by. And they're really easy to list, a couple of photos, and they're also extremely cheap to ship. That's one thing that I like about RC stuff. Everything that has to do with RC is usually really small and light, so I'm able to sell this stuff and ship it out. Most of all of this stuff is like new old stock, things that are like parts and pieces. Obviously, some of this stuff has gone up in value because of its age, and sometimes people still use these older pieces. You might think that these are outdated, but sometimes people have older planes that they don't want to update. They want to keep it original. Like this is a brand new old stock muffler. Not really sure of the model on it. It's an Envy or an Enya, and I would have to find the model. But stuff like this, that's going to be an easy 20 bucks. These older remotes, sometimes these remotes can actually go for good money. This is an Attack 4. These, the one thing about remotes is most of the people that are in the RC world, they actually upgrade their remotes. That's like one of the big things that they They don't really like using the old ones because of the frequencies and the fact that all of the newer remotes are just way more high tech, and you know, you can actually fly a plane real good with them. But you know, vintage RC stuff, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna get for all of it. It's gonna take some time for me to start listing and photographing all of these individual motors and stuff. Some of the stuff I'll probably group up and do it like in a bundle. But for the most part, I'm gonna make some money. I know that for a fact. I paid 20 bucks for it all, so there should be some good profit there. A few other items where, oh yeah, I bought the Legos. The Legos were actually just a mixed box of Legos. There's nothing too special in here. There are some minifigs down in the bottom. But yeah, I'm just gonna sort these, and I'm gonna put these with all of the other Legos I have. I have accumulated quite a bit of Legos in the past couple of years, and I'm going to show those to y'all on another video, actually. So yeah, some other time I'm going to have to show y'all my huge Lego collection because, you know, I've been in the business a long time, and about 4 or 5 years ago, I actually started buying up Legos, and honestly, I don't think I've sold but maybe a fraction of how many I've been buying. So I kind of started sorting them out based on the color and the size, and I just got huge boxes full of this stuff. Anyways, here's some other stuff that was with the RC airplane items. These are not for RC airplanes. These are actually for railroad, you know, like model trains for your house and stuff, for you to build a model train setup. But anyways, those are all of the electric items, like stereos and stuff. All of that was that. And over here is the clothing items that I picked up at yard sales today. This is a huge, like, you know, like one of those work outfits, jumpsuits, really bright orange. It's made by Carolina Workwear, and it's in really good condition. It has the reflectors on it, so I guess if you're doing work on the side of the road or the highway, you're definitely going to be seen because it has reflectors and it is extremely bright. So that is one of the items that I got. A couple other items. I got this vintage alpaca. I got 2 of the Nike Dry Fit pullovers. Well, actually, they're not. Well, this one's a pullover. This one's a full zip Nike Dry Fit. And then I got this one. And I got this one, but it's backwards, so you're not going to be able to see the front. But yeah, I come across Florida Gator stuff all the time. And usually, people that are selling the Florida Gator stuff, I mean, usually I can get it really cheap. I bought all of the clothing that I'm showing you right now. This big bright orange jumpsuit, all of the clothing here, and this military backpack. Well, it's not really military, but it's like a military style backpack, and I'm actually going to keep it because I like it. I love small bags to carry all of my gear and stuff in, so I'm probably going to keep that. But all of the clothing here you see, I bought at one yard sale, and they tried to get me. They wanted like $75, but I started looking through the items, and then I picked out all of this. Left behind a few other items, and she dropped all the price all the way down to 30 bucks. No, 20 bucks instead of 75, and the only thing that I took away was some jeans. She had like 8 pairs of Levi's, and I didn't care to want, you know, I don't want those. Anyways, these right here are baseball pants. These are Under Armour. That's 1 pair. These are not Under Armour. That's 2 pair. And then I got 3 pair. This one has the tags, and these are Easton. So that's 3 pairs, 4 pairs, 5 pairs, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs of baseball pants. So that wasn't too bad. I'm not really sure the price on these. And the clothing, you know, obviously I'm going to have to look them up. But I've sold tons of these pullover jackets and sweaters. Usually they're going to average about 20 bucks each. So that ain't too bad for a $20 investment. This jumpsuit actually is actually going to be pretty darn good. I'm hoping to get about 60 bucks for it, and I think it should go pretty fast. So those were all of the items that I purchased today. I didn't go out for too long. I stayed out until about 9:30. Usually on a good Saturday, I will go yard selling, and I probably won't finish until, 2 o'clock. 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. But today, like I said earlier, the weather was just not on my side. So I only stayed out from 7 until 9:30. And like I said, I spent less than $100, maybe right at $100. I would have to add it all back up. But anyways, I didn't spend that much money. I got some pretty decent stuff. I'm definitely gonna make some money. That's kind of how I buy. I don't really, obviously I deal more in antiques and collectibles, but when you're going to yard sales and you're just out on a Saturday trying to find stuff, the odds of you finding like really good antiques or anything like that is just kind of slim. So this is the kind of stuff that I buy at yard sales, thrift stores, things like that. Now, when I do estate liquidations or I buy out an estate, obviously I'm gonna get better stuff. I'm gonna get antiques, I'm gonna get coin collections, and I buy a lot of the really good stuff from other pickers. So I have people that are always calling me, wanting to sell me stuff, and that's where I buy the good stuff, the jewelry, the silver, the gold, all of that good stuff. But when I'm out just picking, this is the kind of stuff that I buy because this is what keeps my business, going. This is the bread and butter items that I sell on a daily basis. I have tons of people that watch my channel and always ask, how big is your store? How much do you make? I don't really talk about like money that much because I just don't think it's a topic that truly matters. I know that tons of resellers, especially on YouTube, they like to brag about how much money they're making and all of that good stuff, which obviously I don't see anything wrong about bragging about how much money you make or saying that you're successful. I consider myself to be successful. I have a fairly large eBay store. I don't think an eBay store has to be extremely large for you to make any money. Some of you might say that's peanuts and that ain't much of nothing, but for me, I'm a one-man operation. I do this solely by myself. Back when I was at my old warehouse, I used to have a couple of employees, people that I paid to photograph items, to help me list items. But for the past, I would say 8 months or so, maybe even a little longer, I've been doing everything 100% by myself, and I'm still averaging about the same price or about the same amount each week. My items per week or per day, they kind of go up and down. Sometimes I'll sell a big ticket item and I only might sell 6 or 7 items that day, but one of those items will probably be, a $1,500 or $2,000 item. So it kind of varies with me. My business is definitely, I would say, really unique, and it's not like most eBay businesses. I know a lot of people in the reselling business, and every time that I talk to people or that I go and meet other people with reselling businesses, it just seems that we're like totally on the other side of the spectrum when it comes down to business, how we do things, how we operate, the kinds of items that they buy compared to the kinds of items that I buy. It's really unique because that's what it's all about. Everybody's different. Everybody makes money, their own way. Whatever works for you might not work for me. What works for me might not work for you. And that's what makes this business unique. But anyways, I just wanted to make a quick video today. I'm not going to be on here long. I hope that y'all liked the video. I hope that you, got an insight on the kinds of items that I buy. This is the lovely warehouse that I'm always talking about. This is the new warehouse, not the old one. I miss the old one, but I love it here. This is where I spend the majority of my time. This is where I, do everything that has to do with my business. I'm constantly bringing stuff in, taking stuff out, shipping out orders. Today's Saturday. I have about 22 orders going out so far. Hopefully we'll sell some more items tomorrow. I can get up to about 30. That will be a good weekend. But yeah, other than that, folks, I really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and watching another one of my boring ass videos. Until next time, peace.